Well, hello everyone. I'm Tamara, and welcome to Tam's Psych Advice. Today, we're going to talk about the INTJ and how INTJs have swag. I recently heard someone refer to an INTJ, a particular guy, as having swag, and I thought, yeah, I agree with that. I think INTJs do have swag. So swag is a shortened version of the word swagger. That's where it really comes from. It means to walk or behave in a very confident way. Someone with swag might strut in a certain way or have a certain level of self-assurance. INTJs typically have that. It could also be associated with some level of arrogance, which I think INTJs can be accused of being arrogant sometimes, but it's just that they are generally overly confident. They're comfortable in their own skin and they exude confidence when it comes to decision making. Like some people may waver, some people may feel insecure, but they generally know what they're talking about and they know how to get things done with confidence. So swagger is kind of like the person has a bit of an edge to them. You still don't understand what that means. Picture someone who thinks that they really look good. How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they carry themselves? That's kind of what swag is. It's a sense, it can be also associated with a sense of style, a sense of finesse. So some INTJs may be into how they dress and want to look a certain way. I do know some INTJs who are actually very good at putting their clothes together and have a good fashion sense. But that sense of style could also lend itself to their jobs. For example, if someone is a chef, they're going to have a certain swag about themselves. If they're an INTJ, their confidence, the way that they slice things or the way that they take their entrees to the next level. So whatever it is that they do, there's this sense of, it's like, kind of like, I don't want to say cockiness, but some people may interpret an INTJ's behavior as a little cocky, which in some ways can be a compliment, right? Because that's the opposite of being weak or carrying yourself as though you are less than. They're not going to do that. They're going to be really strong in their approach. Think about the word cool. So if you refer to a person as, oh, he's so cool, what do you picture? How do you picture that person? That's what swag is. Now, what's also fascinating is that swag it's evolved as an urban term, kind of a slang, or you kind of use it in a, hey, I'm cool kind of a way. Like I use the word swag. But this may shock you. The term swagger first appeared in Shakespeare's plays, including A Midsummer Night's Dream and King Lear. Use of the word to describe a way of walking dates to the 1580s. Can you believe that? It wasn't until the 1590s that the word was used to mean to brag or boast. And the use of swagger as a noun used to describe a high level of confidence is from 1725. I know that INTJs tend to be very intellectual, which I love about INTJs. So that is just a little bit of facts for you. That's something to consider, something that's kind of different. So definitely consider the word swag to be a compliment for sure, because INTJs are often noted to be most likely to succeed. They usually stand out academically. So you wouldn't normally associate that ability and level of achievement with the word swag. You might think of them as the opposite, like they're super brainy or that kind of thing. But it just shows that brains and the cool factor can definitely resonate together. And I think it makes for a more interesting and intriguing person, if you ask me. Now, here's something else that is fascinating about INTJs, and this is probably definitely the exception to the rule. But there have been some INTJs that have actually had a few issues in life, like some famous INTJs that dropped out of school early, dropped out of high school, or spent a few years in their 20s being an alcoholic. So it doesn't mean that INTJs can't be without flaws or without problems. I definitely would not recommend either of those things in order to have swag. You don't need that. You can have swag without doing things that could hurt you in some way or change the trajectory of your life. It's just to say that, we kind of hold INTJs to a very high standard, and we forget that they are human too. They can struggle, they can go through some things. But what's interesting is when an INTJ bounces back from adversity, it seems like they come out on top. Like they come back swinging. They are able to still, when you think of somebody that drops out of high school, you think, well, they're going to possibly struggle career-wise for the rest of their lives. It doesn't mean that there's any person on earth who can't overcome those odds. And I would definitely encourage anyone who's going through anything like that to, still reach for the stars. Definitely that. But I guess my point is sometimes they can go through things, and when they come back stronger and more successful than your average person will. It's just the way that they're built. I've known INTJs who have grown up in poverty or without the best opportunities, and yet they rise to the top. They become very, very successful. INTJs can be brilliant and original and are often visionaries. They have great confidence in their intuitive insights, and they often rise to leadership positions and offer a new sense of purpose, vision, or missions for an organization. So they are very strategic. They are cool. They build systems. They are truly an amazing type. And, that's why I titled the first video that I did on them, I think I call them the most popular type. It's like, what is the rapper that says often imitated, but never duplicated. And there's a lot of people out there that want to be an INTJ, and they just don't have that swagger. So let us know in the comment section if you know a super cool INTJ.
When you're feeling down in a crappy mood, it's hard to get out of it by simply thinking happy thoughts, especially these days. Check out my jewelry at the Etsy link below. You'll be amazed at how good it feels to wear something that shifts your mood and lifts your spirit. Imagine wearing something fun and feeling better at the same time. Check out my book, The Workplace Narcissist by Tamara Hunter Zyon on Amazon. Bye!